Hey guys, it's me, Jennifer. So sometimes it can be difficult to find parts for the classic cars in our fleet so I can maintain and restore them, especially for the more obscure ones. There might not be certain parts being reproduced, or they were used for only one model year, or a lot of the time, at least near me, the junkyards only have cars that were made within the past 15 to 20 years or so. So I figured I'd go ahead and share with you guys where I go when I need to find something. Now, all of these places offer great customer service and reasonably fast shipping, and links to all of them are down in the description below. So let's go ahead and check them out. Now I'll go ahead and start with where I find parts for Diamond, my 1967 Plymouth Fury VIP. Now it's gotten a little easier over the years to find parts for Mopar C bodies, but it can still sometimes be a bit of a pain. Back when Diamond was a brand new car, automakers were changing styling every single model year to help keep their dealership showrooms fresh. And that means that I can't just get interior or exterior parts from a 1966 or a 1968 Fury because they just won't fit. Now, one vendor that I frequent is Vans Auto, and they offer a ton of reproduction parts, including antennas, battery trays, windshield washer bottles, gas tanks, and sometimes they also offer used items from whatever parts cars they have available. Another great source for C-body parts, and is probably one of my favorites, is Murray B. Park. And they have been around for decades and have a ton of used and new old stock parts. So I'll note that Murray Park also doesn't list everything that they have available on their website. So sometimes it's best to just shoot them a quick email or give them a call to see if they have what you need. This is actually where I got the quarter panels and trunk pan for Diamond before I had her bodywork done. And while prepping for this video, I may have also just purchased a set of electric door lock solenoids for her as well. Now, if you need steering or suspension parts, I recommend Firm Feel. Now, they can be a bit on the pricey side, but they offer high quality parts that are made here in the US. I actually have a set of torsion bars for Diamond, as well as some front strut rod bushings that I'm going to have installed on her soon. Another great place for steering components is steering gear. Now, I ordered Diamond a power steering gearbox from them a year or two ago, and it's improved her steering feel tremendously. And they also make a seal boot for the steering column coupler that holds things together so much better than the regular seal and retaining clip. Now, parts for Olivia, my 1979 Dodge D150, aren't as hard to find as those for Diamond, but it still can be a bit of a challenge. Again, Vans Auto is a great source for reproduction parts for these old Dodge trucks, as well as LMC Truck, which offers things like bumpers, door glass, seals, and other parts and tools. Another great source is Dodge Connection, and they also carry a selection of Little Red Express truck parts. They have reproduction and new old stock items, including things like the wood for the cargo bed, decal sets, gauges, interior trim, and electrical switches. For the 1972 Opel GT, there's really been only one place that I've ordered parts from for this car, and that's Opel GT Source. And they don't just have things for the GT, they also carry parts for the Manta, Cadet, and Ascona. Opel GT Source has almost everything you would need to restore one of these cars. Anything for the engine and transmission, to the interior, to, well, the fuel system like you guys have seen here already on my channel. They also have a bunch of tech notes on their website, which they include with orders. And for someone like me who is really just getting into restoring one of these cars and is still learning them, that's super helpful and appreciated. Now, one of the hardest cars to find parts for in our fleet is the 1987 Chrysler Conquest, which you may have seen in the background of some of my videos. Also known as the Mitsubishi Starion, the wide body or fatty versions like ours were only made for the 1986 through 1989 model years. And they weren't super common when new either. In fact, like only less than 29,000 or so Conquests were sold in the US during those years. One of our favorite places to shop is Conquest Parts, and they carry a lot of OEM and used parts, including things for the interior, under the hood, electrical parts, and even entire cars. A couple of other places we like to order from are Dad's Engine Parts and MKS Motorsport. Now both places offer OEM and aftermarket parts for engines, brakes, electrical and fuel systems, things like that. And I believe Dad's Engine Parts machines some of their own, well, engine parts. And MKS Motorsport makes some of their own parts as well, like brackets and polyurethane bushings. Then there's our little right-hand drive Austin Mini. Now, past few years, it's been a little weird finding parts for this small car because a couple of the major parts suppliers closed down, but one place we've ordered from is Mini Sport. Now, they're based in England, so you'll have to pay tariffs on whatever you order, but they carry everything you would need to tune up or restore one of these classics and get them on the road, including body panels, interior trim, wheels, mechanical parts, even remanufactured engines and transmissions if you need one, or a Cooper tuning kit to get the best performance out of a Mini. And finally, there's another car that you may have noticed in the background of some of my other videos, and that's our 1977 Porsche 924. Now, one of the places we like to order parts from for this car is Pelican Parts, and they offer OEM quality parts for anything from sheet metal to lighting to mechanical parts. There's also Rare Porsche Parts, and they're based in the UK, so again, you may have to pay tariffs on whatever you buy from them, but they also offer pretty much everything as well, including some used parts. Now, besides all of those online stores, some other favorites have been like Facebook Marketplace, online message boards, eBay, which is probably one of the obvious options, and swap meets. On any of these platforms or even at a swap meet, you might find that one person who has been hoarding every part imaginable for your particular vehicle. And if you find a seller who's listed a few parts and you're wondering, hey, would they even have what I need? I recommend just sending them a message. That's actually how I got the parts I needed for Olivia's power steering conversion. There was a guy on Facebook Marketplace who listed a bunch of old Dodge truck parts, and I sent him a message asking, hey, do you have what I would need for this conversion? And he did. So hopefully that helps you guys find those hard to find parts for your classic car. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And if you want to help support my YouTube channel so I can continue creating content for you guys, feel free to go to thegearheadgirl.com and you can buy some merch or sign up for a membership and get access to some exclusive content. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.